Chuck, polls are tightening. What can you tell us about the last few days we've got left in this thing?
Well, I think the most interesting thing is looking at the candidate schedules. It tells you everything about where they think final efforts are worthwhile. Remember, these rallies aren't just about getting local television coverage or national television coverage. They're also about getting folks on the ground, getting the ground game together, getting the volunteers to send them out for the final push. Obama not campaigning in a single state that John Kerry won. Everything is offense, whether it's Iowa and Indiana today, whether it's going to be Colorado over the weekend, Nevada over the weekend. By the way, Nevada, very interesting. Some people say that somehow Obama had put that away. There's not a lot of evidence showing that anymore. You see both candidates hitting Nevada. Obviously, Ohio, huge there for both of them. John McCain recruiting Arnold, the governor, rather than Joe the plumber, to get out there with him today. Schwarzenegger has he got on the map as a bodybuilder out of Columbus, Ohio. He did the same thing for President Bush 4 years ago, and it was a big deal push. Interesting to see McCain in, of all places, New Hampshire, a state that everybody seems to agree is double digits where he's behind, but he's looking more for the cathartic type of national coverage of saying it's his final town hall in the place that started it all for John McCain, that launched his national political career. On top of that, New Hampshire, of course, the most famous loss by Obama when all the polls said that it was a done deal. So I think he's looking for two of those different storylines out of that New Hampshire visit, Tamron.
And let me zip up to the poll that we just referred to. And Governor Palin, people were asked with this New York Times CBS poll if Governor Palin was prepared to be vice president was the question. They didn't ask this time if she was prepared to be president, but vice president. What can we learn from what we're seeing here in the number, Chuck?
Well, everything, and this was, I think the NBC Wall Street Journal poll was the first one to show that Sarah Palin had become more of a problem for him than President Bush, at least when you ask voters to choose between the two. And now more and more polls are looking at this number, looking at questions similar, and coming and finding the same conclusion, and that is Sarah Palin has now become a drag on this ticket with the middle. She helps with the base, sending her to Latrobe, Pennsylvania, home of Rolling Rock beer. That's a good place to send her to rally the base, to rally the troops. The problem is it has turned off the middle. She has not been able to woo any middle-of-the-road voters. She's not been effective at getting swing voting women, which was one of the hopes when they named her, and that's got to be frustrating for the McCain campaign. They will say it's a media-created story, but the fact is the polls are everybody is seeing the same polls, both publicly and privately. And
last but not least, I want to ask you about this report that Barack Obama has offered Rahm Emanuel the chief of staff job if he wins. What do we know about this? True, false, fact, fiction? What is it?
Well, the offer and the hope, very true. There's a lot of folks that believe that Rahm Emanuel, with his history in the Clinton White House, would be the type of sort of field general, a Patton-like figure that could sit there, run the White House, be a good liaison with Congress. The problem is this may get in the way of what Rahm Emanuel wants to do someday, which is be Speaker of the House. And he is on that road. He is in the leadership there. There is every hint you get out of people that know the way that Congressman Emanuel thinks is that as much as he wanted Obama to win, that his heart is set on that chair as Speaker of the House, and that being White House Chief of Staff would sort of take him away from that. And I think at the end of the day, I'd be surprised if he joined the Obama administration formally.
All right. Well, a lot to be determined for when they even get to that point. Thank you very much, Chuck, for the update. And make sure to check out First Read first thing every morning. Just log on to firstread.msnbc.com for the best news and analysis from the entire NBC political team. And to get all the latest political news delivered straight to your cell phone, text FIRST to 622-639, 622-639 to sign up for those First Read alerts.